All right, I'm pumped for this one. Sam Herring here in Tulsa. Just had a finals match. It was a tough one.
Yeah.
But tell me about your tournament.
I've been having a pretty solid tournament. First match I felt really good. Second one I felt great. Just making too many mistakes. Got a lot to work to do.
Yeah. What's something that you learned from the weekend?
I got to control the hand fight a lot more than I am. I'm better in hand fight than I think, and sometimes I don't wrestle like it.
Oh yeah. What do you think that like a mental
It's
block
It's definitely mental. My training is at a high level right now. Just got a lot of mental work to do, and just keep plugging along.
Nice. Who are the coaches that you work with? What club?
I work with a lot of clubs right now. I worked in Memphis with the Wave Wrestling Club and Christian Brothers High School, where Nick Marable
They're
came
tough.
out of.
Yeah. Memphis Missile.
And then I spend a lot of my time in Pennsylvania training with Young Guns, actually. That's who's coaching me right now at this tournament, so got a lot of really good training positions. It's going really well.
Nice. How's that Young Guns room, man? Those guys just turn out hammers all the time.
It's just 6 guys deep at every weight, and you got hammers, best kids in the country at every weight.
Gosh, I bet there's some practices you go in there, man, if you're not on, then it'll be a long practice.
There's some really humbling practices there.
Yeah. What makes them so good, you think?
Coach Trumatter does such a good job inspiring kids. He pushes a lot of mentality that I think a lot of coaches don't. And I think he's really good at bringing in kids that want to come. So I live in Memphis, but Coach Trumatter does such a good job, and he brings in so many good kids that I feel like I want to go there, and it happens to a lot of kids.
That's awesome. So tell me, man, I know you're a man of the sport, and besides competing, you do fans a huge service with content and podcasts and stuff. What is it about wrestling that gets you this excited?
To be honest, I don't really know the reason. I think it's really everything about wrestling. I just love. I can't get enough of it. I have a true passion for it, whether that be on the mat, off the mat. My first passion, first and foremost, is this right here. And, there's a lot that I have to think about when I'm trying to balance both of those. So, but I really do love the sport, and it's a fantastic thing that I'm a part of.
Nice. Tell us about Home Mat Advantage a little bit.
So Home Mat Advantage, I started in March 2019 with Jude Swisher. He's a wrestler for M2 in State College, Pennsylvania. We had never met each other. Never talked before, but just through Twitter and getting to know each other on there, we found that we had a lot in common, that we were both kids, we were both homeschooled, and we both loved wrestling. And from there, we just randomly decided we wanted to start a podcast. We were not very technically savvy, so we had to learn a lot, but it's come very far. It's turned into a full-blown media organization. We have different branches of it, where we're kind of managing a lot more than actually doing content right now, which is really, really cool. We're learning a lot.
Cool. What's your goals with it? Do you know what you want to do with it, or it's just kind of
It's just having fun with it right now. It's not my living. There's no pressure to do it. It's really cool. We won Journalist of the Year this year.
Yeah.
And that just kind of came. That's nothing we had put in our sights, but it just kind of came. And that's kind of what we want to do. We love traveling to events. That stuff is really awesome. We get to cover events, do interviews. But yeah, we have a lot of fun with it, but no, I wouldn't say we really have any specific goals.
Cool. It'll develop as it goes, huh?
Oh yeah.
Hey, so we have a mutual friend. I'm a huge fan of the best photographer in wrestling, Tony Rotundo.
Yes, sir.
How'd you get hooked up with Tony?
That's an incredible story, really. Through doing the podcast, he reached out to us and he was listening. He loved the podcast. And he was kind enough to reach out to us and offer to sponsor us. That email I still have saved, and I'll read it every once in a while. It just puts a big smile on my face. He's an awesome human being, and it's really turned into, from him being our sponsor to him being our mentor and our friend, that really, really helps us. He's been talking to me a lot with the guys that I'm wrestling this weekend. He's just an awesome human being.
Yeah. He's a big fan of you too. All right, so back to wrestling a little bit. What's your plans like? What do you want to do with this sport? How far are you going to take it?
I've got goals as high as world champion, NCAA champion. I want to do it all. I want to go with this sport as far as it'll take me, because I love it and can't get enough. So I'm going to compete as long as I can and stay in the sport, hopefully reach the goals that I have. And from there, I want to coach. I want to still be involved in the sport. It's just my whole life I want to be a part of this.
Nice. Who are some athletes that you look up to?
It's really crazy now because the athletes that I look up to are incredibly nice to me when I do interviews with them, and I can talk with them every once in a while. Sammy Sasso's here.
Yeah.
He's been talking to me this whole tournament, just helping me warm up, talking to me. He's just awesome. Guys like that that are involving themselves with me is really awesome. Yanni Diakomihalis is a guy that I get to talk to frequently. But so many guys are so awesome, and it blows my mind to think that these guys are my heroes, and they'll take the time to talk to me and engage in conversation with me.
Hey man, wrestlers are good people.
Yes,
They're
they are.
just like you. You know? All right. Yeah, one of my favorite questions. What if you had a buddy that just decided he's going to start wrestling now? What would be your advice?
Man, I have so much. I sit in bed, don't go to sleep till 2 a.m. just thinking about this. So I have a lot on that. But just first and foremost, find a way to love it. I wrote an article on Flow, I think about a month ago, about how to get your kids to fall in love with wrestling. And I had a bunch, I think it was 6 points, where are easy ways, well I guess not easy, but different ways that you can get your son to or daughter to love wrestling when you're trying to involve them in the sport. And I'd kind of follow that guideline. So get them to be a fan of the sport is one of the biggest ones. Find something that they love about the sport. So something that I love is watching film, learning technique. If they love that, get them Flow subscription, help them find their favorite wrestlers and learn stuff about wrestling. If they like the live wrestling and competing, get them to as many tournaments as you can. If they don't, the Schwabs have a great setup for their kids where they don't compete until they've proven they're ready. Just different things like that where you have to read the kid. But yeah, I think about that so much.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right then. Well, let's see. You got one more match coming up.
I have one more, yeah.
How do people tell people where to find your content?
The easiest way is hmawrestling.com. Just go there. You can find our social media on there, how to contact us, and then we have all our content pretty organized on that site. Our social media, we're super active on social media, so HMA Wrestling, Home Mat Advantage, you can find us everywhere. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, keep it up, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Keep loving the sport, and safe travels home.
Yes,
Do you have
sir.
anything else that you want to share?
I got nothing else. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Sam.